Chapter 23 A Perfect Crime. The following week passed uneventfully. Mama and Papa were thrilled to have Marvin safe at home again. Elaine was delighted to be regaled with more tales of the outside world. The Pompadours, still gloating over the sale of James's drawing, were busy with their usual activities, though briefly inconvenienced when the timer on the microwave stopped working. Fortunately, Uncle Albert was able to maneuver his way through the vents at the back of the oven and reconnect the loose wire. This fixed the problem, though not before the Pompadours had a heated exchange about unreliable foreign appliances, Mr. Pompadour's lack of handiness, and the fact that Mrs. Pompadour were a real cook. She wouldn't be using a microwave anyway. Their argument ended abruptly when the microwave's clock started blinking again, and Albert slipped triumphantly out the back. Mrs. Pompadour, oh, look, it's working now. Mr. Pompadour, see, I fixed it. James himself seemed noticeably more cheerful and confident. Marvin spent nearly every afternoon in his bedroom, and he couldn't decide what accounted for the change: the success of copying Fortitude, the attention from Mrs. Pompadour over his new talent, the excitement of the pending burglary. Whatever it was, James was happy, which made Marvin happy. When Friday came, Carl and James, with Marvin in tow, arrived at Christina's office at exactly 5:30, as she had instructed. Mama and Papa hadn't even put up a fuss about Marvin leaving the apartment this time, since Marvin had spent most of the intervening week extolling the importance of seeing his beloved drawing again for what might be the last time. The burglary had been arranged for that evening, and now the plans were in place. Everything seemed to be proceeding very quickly. Christina greeted them warmly, her eyes bright. When she saw James, she swooped down and hugged him. He looked startled, but Marvin could tell he was pleased. "How's my favorite forger?" she asked, smiling. "Okay," he said. "Ready for a last look at your drawing? It's hanging in the gallery now, right where the original was, and nobody has suspected a thing. Denny helped me make the switch last night. Imagine that, James. All day long, people have been staring at a James Turek miniature, thinking it's a doer." James grinned. "Really?" "Really. When you look at the two drawings side by side, the resemblance is uncanny, and the matting and framing are identical to the original. Denny and I were working on that all day yesterday." "What about the tracking device?" Carl asked. "The FBI will handle it," Christina said, "but they explained it to us yesterday. Their agent is going to embed a microchip in the matting before he leaves the building." "And it won't set off any kind of alarm?" Carl asked. "When the drawing is taken from the museum?" Christina shook her head. "The microchip can be detected only by the FBI's tracking equipment, not a regular security system. And we don't search visitors exiting the museum, so there shouldn't be a problem. With the tracking unit, the FBI will be able to follow the drawing through the city until it leads you to the thieves," Carl finished for her. "Yes, and hopefully the other stolen drawings." Carl rubbed his beard. "What if the thief takes just the drawing, not the matting? Then you'd lose the tracking device." Christina pursed her lips. "I know. We discussed that at length. It's one reason we didn't put the device on any part of the frame. Even if the FBI agent took the drawing as it is, it seems likely the next guy would get rid of the frame for easier transport." She pushed her glasses up more firmly to the bridge of her nose. "But we didn't really have a choice. The microchip would be visible if we put it anywhere on the drawing, because the paper is so old and fragile. If we put it on the matting, well, we all feel more confident the thieves won't see it." She looked at Carl soberly. "But you're right, it's a risk." Marvin could see that James looked worried, and he was beginning to feel a gnawing pit in his own stomach. "Where's the real drawing?" James asked. Christina smiled. "It was here in my office last night. I can't tell you how many times Denny and I compared the two to make sure everything looked exactly right. Then we wrapped up the doer and sent it to the vault in the director's office for safekeeping." "And what about the FBI guy who's going to take the James's drawing?" Carl asked. "Is he here yet?" Christina glanced at her closed office door. No, not yet. It's been a crazy day. I've been so busy with the FBI. I just got back here a little while ago. I'm not supposed to discuss the details. She looked at them apologetically for a moment, then capitulated. Oh, how can I not tell you two, when you're the ones who've made it all possible? She took James's hand and pulled him closer, lowering her voice. No one can know anything about this. Do you understand, James? This whole thing depends on the public and the underground art world believing that the real doer has been stolen. Carl, James, and Marvin all watched her intently, waiting for her to go on. Christina hesitated. So here's the plan. Tonight we're open late till 9 o'clock. About 15 minutes before closing, the guards will clear the galleries. Our contact from the FBI, Stoll Art Unit, has a Met Guard uniform. He'll come into the gallery with a canvas bag after the public has left. But don't the other guards know one another? Carl asked. Won't they be surprised if they don't recognize him? Christina shook her head. Not on a Friday. On weekends and evenings, we have several fill-in security staff, so that part should be fine. And then he'll just take the picture? James asked. Right off the wall? Marvin felt a strange twinge of foreboding. Christina nodded. He'll have to make sure no one is watching, and he'll have to move quickly. The idea is that he'll slip the drawing into the bag and go immediately to the left-hand supply closet in the gift shop. You've seen that little gift shop on the second floor, just outside the drawings exhibition? We've left that closet unlocked for him. But why? James asked. If he's got the drawing, why can't he just leave with it? Let her finish, James, Carl said gently. He turned to Christina. I'm assuming nobody can walk through the checkpoints carrying a large bag, even a security guard. It's safer not to risk that, she agreed. So we'll have a change of clothes for him in the closet, including a suit jacket with an inside pouch, flat, reinforced, waterproof. That is the right size to hold fortitude. He'll also find the tools he needs to remove it from the frame material and to install the microchip in the matting. He'll change into regular clothes, put the drawing in the inside jacket pocket, leave the supply closet when he's sure the hallway is empty, and exit the rest of the crowds as the museum is closing.